Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer. Any opinion here is mine and mine alone. So this is part 6 of the secret build, and I do want to give a warning in this one. I sound like shit right now. I'm getting over a combination of a cold, congestion, and sinus infection, so I don't sound 100%, and that's because I'm not 100%, but this is part 6. I'm going to get started with the assembly of the build itself. However, part 7 will probably be a continuation of this and be a bit longer. So, we're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to have to zoom out here so you guys get to see what I'm doing here. So, I'm not going to do a whole lot, in all honesty. I will say between parts 5 and 6, I got rid of the plastic peeling here because it's like, in my personal opinion, it's like, if it's going to be a 100% plug and play, what's the point on having all, like, you know, me doing the female driver doing all the peels, so, you know, off screen. So, there's going to be no peeling here due to the fact that once the female driver gets this particular build, it's going to be plug and play, completely ready to go. So, for those of you who want to know, like, the first steps, it really doesn't matter in the sense of, like, your storage, memory, or a processor. It doesn't really matter as long as you get to it at all, in my personal opinion. So, get that. We have here the AMD Ryzen 750-700X. And it goes with this lovely motherboard, the ASUS ROG Strix B550A. As always, you want to check the pins, make sure nothing's bent out of place. And there's going to be that golden triangle, which is a bit bigger on this side than on the other. Because there's a super tiny triangle. It's right. It's like the letter that's closest to it. That's the letter R, and we're gonna do it like this because the arrow is right there where I'm pointing at. So we have that. We put the lever back down. And then you also notice here that I have my RAM sticks ready to go, which is right over here, where my left hand is. Now the thing here with these, with the memory here, the most important thing to know about these memories, like the memory modules, like I said, I am getting over a cold, congestion, sinus infection, so I do want to mention here that as long as it's like DDR4, the motherboard's DDR4, and it supports like the certain number of megahertz, you should be okay with the memory modules you get. So I'm going to do this first one towards the end right here. See here if I could get this. And just so you just heard that click, so you know it's in fully and correctly. So it's basically lining things up. And yes, you gotta press pretty darn hard on these. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna be doing the complete like platform setup here. I just want to, free up some space. So what I'm probably going to be doing here, like to end this video in a little bit, is like, you know, get the storage here. This is the extra storage drive right here, the Samsung 970 Evo Plus. That's 2 terabytes, and then this one right here is the boot drive. The 980 Pro. And like I said, both of these are at 2 terabytes apiece. Now, for those of you who are who use a WoW stick like I do, the most important thing here is that yeah, that's a flashlight. Where my thumb is like, it's like when you like loosen things, that's lefty loosey, and then where my index finger is at, it's righty tighty. That's pretty much how you want to maneuver a WoW stick like this. Now, if you're using a flashlight with the WoW stick, make sure you have the flashlight bit facing away from you. So that way, you don't have to worry about like getting blinded by it, like temporarily. So what I need to do next here is I'm going to loosen up these additional screws. Because if you don't prepare the NVMe storage for these drives, it's going to be a bit more difficult to make sure they're properly secure. And Sandy says hi. He's meowing his tail off. He's being a good boy. Now, we're gonna get the boot drive in here first. And then ideally, when it comes to the NVMe storage, you do want to angle it so that way it's inserted properly. Oh, it looks like one of my... Okay, so we're going to do it like so. Now, like I said, when it comes to the NVMe installation, again, you want to angle it like so, like you see here. And once I get my hands on my WoW stick, where, there we go. I just figured out where it was really quickly. I know, buddy. Now, the thing is with these NVMe screws, like the ones I'm about to attach the drive itself to, it can be tricky, you know, to really get them like going because they're very small and easy to lose. And another important thing to point out here, you do not want to over tighten these. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the boot drive, which is on top here. And what I particularly like about having a WoW stick available is that you can use like you do it like this. You could use this part right here. You could also use it as a manual thing right there. Now, before I put these back on, I do want to take this is gonna be the only plastic peeling is the revealing of the thermal pad. And if you are occupying every last NVMe slot, it is important to reveal the thermal pad for each slot. But if you're only using one of the thermal pads, it's going to be important to reveal just one instead of not all. So it's going to come down to how many NVMe devices you're using at the end. I'm going to check something really quickly. Okay. Get that flashlight back on. Now I'm going to do the same process again for here, just to double check of this part right here. Now in the description below, I will have all the parts for this particular build in there. So just a bit of a friendly heads up. Okay. Now where is my... Now, one of the best things about using a wow stick is, like, I think Zero mentioned in a comment, like, in one of my other videos, that, even if you don't have arthritis, I mean, I do have arthritis, sometimes the flare-ups come up when I least expect it, especially when I wake up in the morning, is that it is a bit of a time saver. So now we have it. We have a almost complete like platform right here. And this does free me up a little bit of space. And sometimes freeing up a small amount of space is the biggest difference maker in the end, in my personal opinion. Now, regarding the this particular Wi-Fi card, this is probably not going to be until at least part 8. Yes, there's going to be a part 8 because part 7 will be for me finishing up the whole finishing up the platform. Because again, I mean, I do have to go to work in a little later today, so it's like I want to make sure I get the platform, at least started, so that way, once it comes to weekend, I can actually really get going on setting up the platform for this particular build. So what I'm going to do to finish this particular video is that I'm going to start on the cooler, but I'm not going to finish it. Because like I said, I do need to go to work a little later today, and I do need to get some additional Dayquil in my system. And once again, I apologize for the coughing and sniffling. Like I said, I am recovering from a cold, sinus infection, and congestion, which is why I sound like shit right now. And I made sure to wash my hands before I started filming this too. So for this particular cooler, this is the Scythe Big Shuriken Big Shuriken 3 Revision B. Now I'm going to show you what it comes with. So this comes with the let me get this baggie open. So for the Scythe Big Shuriken 3 Revision B, what it comes with, let's see if I can get this out of the bag. So it comes with its own tube of thermal paste, thermal grease, same thing, in my opinion. We have here the varying brackets. I know some of these are for Intel, some of these are for AMD. Now this is the Intel mounting bracket right here. In this particular pile right here, you have varying screws, like washers, etc., etc. And this bigger guy right here is the cooler itself. Now I will not be putting in the cooler in this particular part. Like I said, I do need to get ready for work. And you can tell right now, I am still sounding like shit. So, we're going to go into the instruction manual this comes with. And I gotta follow the instructions for AMD. Which, believe it or not, some AMD motherboards, you get fewer instructions as opposed to Intel. So, I do have to remove these guys right over here. And then replace it with the appropriate brackets. Huh. Wrong screw. Now, some people say, it's not a good idea to use an electric, screwdriver when you're. This is why I debunk it, because when it comes to certain screws, you're actually going to have a much easier time using an electric screwdriver as opposed to one by hand. And those are gone like so. Now I have to get the appropriate items, meaning the spacers, the proper brackets, all that stuff. And for these particular brackets, you gotta make sure they're in the right way. Because when it comes to the big Shuriken 3, where my index finger is like, rubbing, quote unquote, that's the side that has to face the ceiling. Yeah. Now, don't mind me, I'm actually just like plotting, okay, which was to go after, that sort of thing. Now I'm gonna go back into the manual to make sure, you know, I get the correct bracket. So and that's it right here. The AMD bracket is this guy right over here. For this particular manual, where I'm pointing at number 11. And according to the manual, I do need to do it now, mind you, this step is going to get kind of tricky in a sense, so I'm going to do a test on one of the sides, make sure I get it on the correct one. And this is one of those instances where you can get away with a electric screwdriver as opposed to a hand screwdriver. That. Let's see if this works. Okay. Now, as you see in here, it is really ideal to go at that, like that, so that way you don't have to worry so much about, like, okay, it's a certain day it's going to fall out. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put it to the innermost thing because it's like it looks like there's where you're supposed to put it. So I did it like this, do it like that. And because it's still daylight here, where I'm at, I'm going to do it like that. But sometimes you have to be pretty quick when it comes to like timing stuff. But as you can see there, I did not tighten it all the way, just to keep myself safe here. Now, for some reason, I went with too short of a screw. You know, I can always switch it out to these longer screws right here. Okay. So you got it like so. And there you have it. This is an almost completely done platform. So, as you can see here, I've done the a successful insert of the memory right here. I have the bracket for my air cooler like ready to go. I have my storage set up and installed. I have my processor in place. Now, what I need to do in part 7, it may not be a blog part of that one at all, is to get the thermal paste on here and get the actual cooler like installed in place, and then figure out a way to get the cable from that cooler onto this section right over here. So this is where I'm going to end this video. I'm not going to be able to do anything between this part and part 7 outside adding an extra SATA cable to the power supply. So with Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.